epistasis in fur color of dogs. Fur color in dogs, Labrador retrievers, the fur color of these dogs is controlled by two different genes. Gene 1, which is represented by B, this gene controls the color of the dogs. While there is another gene which is represented by E, this gene controls the level of the expression of gene 1. Here is an example of the epistasis in the Labrador retrievers, that is a type of the dogs. In Labrador retrievers, there is a allele that is B. B allele is responsible for the black fur. Black fur, here is B. While if they have two recessive alleles, if there is a dominant allele, then the fur color will be black. And if they have two recessive alleles of B, then the fur color of the dogs will be brown. This is brown. So black color is due to the dominant form of the gene, while the brown color is due to the recessive alleles of the gene. If we see the genotypes, in case of genotypes, if there are two genotypes, like the allele is in dominant form, here we can see B and B, it is in dominant form, or it can be BB and EE. This is the second gene which is responsible for the epistasis function. So here just we will see BB is for black, and here is again B. If there is a dominant allele, then the color of the dogs will be black. These are black. While on the other hand, if this allele that was dominant here, if it is in recessive form, BB, same is here BB, the color of the dogs that will be brown. So these are the brown. But there is a second gene which is represented by dominant alleles and recessive alleles. If the second gene is present in recessive form, like here in this genotype, it is in recessive form, here it is in recessive form, here it is in recessive form. Although in the first genotype, there is a capital B, that is a dominant allele that was actually for the black color, but here is the second gene which is in recessive form. Due to this recessive form of the second gene, the color of the dogs that will be golden. These are the golden. This color is due to the second gene that has the epistatic effect on the first gene. These are the different genotypes of the Labrador retrievers. On one hand, this is the genotype BB, BB and small b. While here are three forms of the gene that has epistasis over the black gene and brown coat. It is in the form of dominant form, it is in heterozygous form, and it is in recessive form. We can see here, if this allele is in recessive form, the color of the dogs that will be golden or brown. They are called as golden and brown. But on the other hand, if this gene is not in recessive form, the fur color of the dogs that will be either black or it will be brown. Here is the explanation, detailed description of the same example. We can see here that there is a allele E that is responsible, and in recessive form E. The black color is B is the dominant allele that is for black color. Here we can see that it is in the same gene. This gene is in a recessive form, and if there is a recessive form, then the fur color of the dogs will be brown. But on the other hand, if there is a recessive E gene, here is recessive, here is recessive, although there is a dominant allele that was here as black. B is for black and for the dominant, but due to the effect of this recessive gene, we can see the color of the dogs is yellow. So epistasis in dogs is due to two genes. one gene is, if the one gene is in dominant form, then the fur color will be black. If that gene is in recessive form, then it will be brown. But there is another gene that has epistasis effect on the first gene. If the second gene is in recessive form, then the color of the dogs will be yellow. So this is also the example of the recessive epistasis.